Well, hello and welcome once again to Victorious Living. I'm Bishop, and this is Lady Wilhelmina, uh, and we have with us today a representation of the Gen Z generation. Outstanding young people across this country being represented here today to share with us as we have our discussion on faith, on family, and on finances. That's right. These young people are going to share with us their thoughts on faith, finance, and family, and how these things can help from their perspective us to build back better. How we're going to build our families back together, how we're going to build our faith, make it stronger together, how we're going to be able to handle our finances and build them back better. So we're going to share these things today. They're going to be giving us the information that we need. And so we want you to stay tuned. So let's get started with Lady Wilhelmina.
Well, hello. I am so excited to be with these teens. That's what I call them. I'm from the old school. Teenagers, they know the Z, whatever they are in. But I'm interested in hearing from them, and I want to know from whoever would like to answer. How can you do, or what can you do in your family to help build back better your family? Since in the past 2.5 years, the pandemic has been around and about. And I'm sure that as talking with you earlier, and just mentioning it, there are things that have happened like crisis in the family because of the pandemic. But what do you say you can do to help build back better your family connection? Kenzie? You're quite talkative.
I think we could have a better communication in your family between others, because I know when COVID started, a lot of people felt isolated even in their own homes around their family, and tend to isolate themselves away from their family even though in their same house together. I think we can build more on communicating with each other despite of what's going around in the world.
I would like to ask Lena, did you find yourself on your cell phone more during the pandemic and you had less interaction with your family?
Most definitely. I was like on my phone like 24/7, day and night.
And I know most of the Z's, they're shaking their head, they were that way. So in order to build back better family, and I like what Kenzie said with talking about communication. If you put your phones down now and just have communication around the table or either while you're watching TV with your family member, you think that would build back better your family?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Christian, you're the male on my right. What you say about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, what? Come on, tell us.
I agree with her.
Did you stay on the phone too and away from your mom and the family?
Yes, ma'am. I was on it a lot.
Oh, I hear that. And Andre, what about you?
I was on my phone, in my game. I was on my Xbox.
Oh, Xbox and games. So you had little communication with your family, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Jay, what about you?
I was the same, but slightly the opposite. I got to spend more time with my mama because of her being at work a lot. So we couldn't spend as much time as with her. But I got to spend a lot of time with her by her working from home.
Okay. That's good. So with her working at home, you didn't have to call her job and bug her there, but you were at the house where you could talk to mom and communicate some, because I know she was saying, sit down, I'm on the phone, I'm working.
Yes, ma'am.
But you got a chance to communicate with her that way.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
awesome. And Mr. J, I'm going to call you. What do you say about all of this? How did you spend your time these 2.5 years because of the pandemic?
Mostly working, but if I wasn't at work, I was looking at the screen.
All right.
And when you say you were looking at the screen, kind of help us from another generation understand what looking at the screen really means.
Like, I was either on my phone watching TV or playing the game.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is it that you can share with us that you believe will help to build your family into a stronger family now?
I mean, when I got a part-time job, I could do a lot more stuff for myself, so my parents didn't have to worry about me as much.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay.
You know, that's awesome just hearing you. Kenna,
I was mainly on my phone because I was separated from all my friends, so that was like only the way I can communicate with them, but mainly on my phone talking to people mainly.
okay. So during the pandemic, during 2.5 years, you had more interaction with your friends than you did family.
Definitely.
So now, can you tell me that now, with what you've learned about family, that you will spend more time communicating, talking with them than you did during the time we were all locked down?
Definitely, yes, ma'am.
Are you sure you would do that, talk with your family?
Sometimes.
Okay. That's the Z generation. Okay.
Well, I think it's interesting that you share this information because, you know, as parents and grandparents, we don't always know everything. We think we do, and we think that because we have already lived through your ages, and we experience some of the things that you experienced, but not quite at the same level that you have experienced them. So many things that we think is one way or still the way it was for us, it's not exactly that way for you. So tell us in your own words, how do you think that as parents and as grandparents, we could better relate to you in order to be able to help you? So that we'll know and won't keep trying doing the same stuff that we've been doing for years and years and years.
I'll say something.
Okay.
I feel like just checking up on us, like, are we okay? Because, I mean, mainly most parents just see us on our screens and not talking to them, so parents just think, like, the stereotype, oh, they don't want to talk to me, nothing's going on. But I feel like just mainly asking them, like, sometimes, are you okay? How's everything going? Because if you don't, they'll just feel alone, feel like, oh, my parents don't care about how I feel or anything like that.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Anyone else feel that way?
Most definitely, it happens a lot.
So what do you do what does it do to you when it happens?
I mean, like, I feel a little bit like left out, alone and stuff. So, like, sometimes I'll take the initiative and go speak with my parents and tell them about it, or like go hang out with them instead of waiting for them to come to me.
Okay. Lena, share with us. I mean, Jayla. Did I get it right, or
You got it.
okay? Come on, talk to us.
I just feel like they should be more understanding by certain things.
Okay, now in the Bible, in the Bible, it says, and a certain man or a certain woman. They didn't say who the certain man or woman was. So when you say certain things, kind of bring us up to speed on that.
Like, like basically what they were saying about like us being on our cell phones and stuff. It's not like that we just closing ourselves away. It's just like a time for you to just chill by yourself and like think of a lot, like think on a lot of stuff like that been going on. Because some people go through depression and like you'll never know what they got going on. So that's why you have friends to talk to them, like talk to them about your problems. Because some people can't go to their parents. So that's why sometimes we be on our phones.
You know, since we're going to be wide open, how many you feel that you can really go talk to your parents?
I feel like I could talk to my mama about certain things.
Okay.
Cause she like, I ain't gonna say she hard on me, but like she show tough love. So I can open up to her about certain stuff.
Great. Okay. Andre?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I can open up to my mama more than my dad because I've been with my mom a long time.
Miss Kenna?
Well, not really my parents, but I'm starting to get closer with my mom where I can tell her things I'm comfortable with. But my dad, ever since I was little, he was just so hard on us, which is a good thing because it made me who I am today. And he's still hard on us, but mainly my mom where I'm getting closer to her and telling her things I feel like upset about or good about.
Christian?
Yes, ma'am. I think I can talk to my mom about almost everything.
What makes you feel that way?
She listens.
She listens.
Wow.
So then would it be safe to say from all of you that you need parents and grandparents to be willing to listen to you before making judgments against you.
Yes,
Yes,
most
yes,
definitely.
yes.
Ah, that's hit it there. Okay, yes. I want you to respond.
I haven't gotten to the point where I'm comfortable talking to my parents about certain things. Like, I could just sit back and they'll just talk to me, but I'm not at the point yet where I can just talk about anything yet.
And what do you think is the underlying reason for that? You want to use this little object in your hand?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure yet. Like when Kenna talks about things to mom, I just sit back and listen, like nod off, like I'm listening to her. But I really don't have anything that I think is important to talk about that has happened to me yet. But if it does get to that point, I think I will get in a place where I can come to them about anything.
Okay. Jay, do you think it's important to be able to talk to parents and for us to be able to listen to what you have to say because it's important to you?
Yeah, it's very important. It could stop a lot of people from doing bad stuff.
Wow. Wow.
And you know, I'm excited to sit here with grandchildren and the other grandchildren from church. But to pick up the girls in the evening time and just sit and drive and hear them talk, boy, they be talking sometimes. I want to say shut up, but hush, I'm driving. But to hear them talk, hear you all talk, it lets me know that you have a lot inside and you just wanted to come out. And if anyone would listen, you know, you want to talk to them and it helps you. And it reminds me of Joshua. And when it said, as far as me and my house, we will serve the Lord. But if you all have all of this going on, do you find it hard for you to serve the Lord?
Definitely. Yes.
Why?
I kind of do because I feel like at school, I feel like talking about Christianity or any religion at all has kind of fell out of the schools. So I feel like we have separate lives in school and outside of school for a bunch of kids. I feel like people around me can understand that, where we try to fit into schools' expectations of us, where God falls out of it, and where we have to become something we're not, and then act a certain way about different people outside of school. So they can still see that we act the godly way outside of school.
Share something along those same. Share your thoughts on that, Jayla.
I definitely agree with her because, like, in school, it's like different from when you out of school. Like, especially when you was raised by like a godly family, it's like when you go to school, everything is like different because you don't see God inside of everybody.
Yes.
So everybody's different.
So, does that make it difficult for you to be in school and focus on what you are supposed to be there for?
It don't make it difficult, but it make you look at people differently.
Oh, okay.
But you would not drop your standard because they're misbehaving. You're going to still do your best
Yes,
to
ma'am.
serve the Lord from the way your parents have taught you, especially when you know it's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
That's just great. That's just great.
Ken, I look at you and I want you to talk to the children that may be listening, even grown up. How is your faith? Where is your faith?
To be honest, I don't even know where my faith is at all. Because as growing up as a preacher's kid, everybody, and a bishop's grandchild,
Wow. Wow.
I feel like everybody expected so much out of me, and it was so difficult to live two parts of my lives, being at school and hearing all this stuff going on, to having to go to church every Wednesday and Sunday. And I just really didn't know where my faith lied at, because I always felt like I had to be, okay, I have to be like these kids at school, and then I have to be a preacher's kid. So I never knew where it was, and it was just so hard to just like be in the church and listen and get into it, because there was a lot of stuff going on at school.
Kenzie?
I kind of relate to what McKenna's saying. I do think I could build more on my faith if I start confessing more positivity in my life. Yes, that comes a lot with my mom and me. Mom saying it a lot. and not let negativity affect me even though I'm around it, full of it at school, is to try to be positivity in somebody's life throughout school and outside of school.
Now, you young people realize that when we talk about faith, we're talking about believing, even though there is no physical proof of what we believe.
Great.
When there is no evidence that we can visibly see, we still believe. None of us have ever seen evidence of God, Jesus, or the Holy Spirit in our lives, but yet we believe. And because we believe, that means that it is done by faith.
So my question is, do you believe
I do.
that Jesus Christ is Lord?
I definitely do believe it. I do.
So there's a difference in the aspect that you was talking about. But as far as your faith, and I know you to have faith in something, because when you tell me something, you speak it, and it happens. And the same way that I've seen some of the rest of you, you believe in that strongly, and you have enough faith for that. But when you get around other children in your school, do you still hold on to that faith that you say that you have in Christ?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Now, Andre, share with me, with the people tonight, how important you think it is for you to be able to fit in with all of your peers at school and still at the same time don't join in when they do bad stuff.
I mean, you gotta separate yourself from bad activity and negative things in life. So, and you gotta hold on to whatever your parents have taught you and spiritually and stuff. So, you gotta separate yourself with bad activity.
That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. Share with us, Angelina.
I was always taught that I am a representation of my parents. So whenever I do leave the house or I'm with my friends, I make sure that I don't do anything bad because it reflects onto them.
Okay. Okay. Could you hold that microphone up a little bit and look into that camera and say that to the people watching and to the other young kids that may be watching?
So growing up, I was always raised to I was always raised to know that I am a representation of both of my parents. So when I leave the house, I make sure that I don't do anything bad and make sure I am always doing good and don't listen to what other people say, pretty much.
Okay. What do you say about that, Jay?
You just gotta be a leader, not a follower.
Wow. That was loaded answer. That was a loaded answer. And the reason I say that was a loaded answer because when it comes to faith, one of the things that would be asked is how do you become a leader and not a follower? Come on, talk to me.
Knowing your value and knowing you have purpose.
Wow. Say it, wait, slow that down and back that up as we say and play it again so everybody can understand that.
To be a leader and to know you are a leader, you need to know that you have value and you have purpose. Everyone who is here on this earth still has a purpose.
Wow.
And I look around and I hear you, and what do you say is one of your purposes? Just one, that's all. Let you be thinking, because she said something there. And I want to see if you're going to have faith to believe in what you're saying. Because I'm sitting beside a star player right now.
I don't know my purpose yet, but I do know I have one.
Okay.
I'm just still figuring out what it is. But
You
I do
know.
know I have it.
Okay. Christian, what about you? Do you know your purpose yet?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
But on this earth now, what are you good at?
Playing baseball.
Baseball. And do you think that you can use that particular skill to draw others in? Because you have faith that when you get it at bat, you're going to hit that ball. Do you believe that you can use that to bring others to Christ?
Yes, ma'am.
Using your faith. Kenna?
Mine is music, because I always love music, and I feel like in the church you always incorporate music. So I guess whenever I'm at church singing, I can bring people who are outside of the church, and they hear those words that I'm singing, they'll be like, okay, I feel like there's a good feeling. I can become closer to Christ through music. So I guess that's a good thing, my purpose for music.
Andre, what about you?
My purpose in life is sports. I like doing track, baseball, and basketball. I like just doing sports.
All
Like,
right. And
make me
using
feel
sport, you
different.
have faith enough to believe that if I get on that track, God is going to give me the strength to run and I'm going to win.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
My purpose is dancing. Dancing release me like from a lot of things. It's like for example, when I was miming, I was ministering to the people, so it made me feel good.
Wow. Y'all hear that, parents? Y'all hear that? Those of you that's watching, when she was miming, she was ministering to the people, and that made her feel good.
And like dancing it's just a part of me, cause like it's just something I like doing.
Awesome. Awesome.
Lena, do you know your purpose?
No, man, I really don't think I have one right now. I don't think I have found it yet.
Okay, I like that.
I have one, but I don't think I found it yet.
Okay, but hearing you talk today, I see that you are on to something, and you help us as pastor and Lady Lewis, and of course the audience to know that you all have expectation from believers, especially those in your lives, that will help you to find your purpose and help you to walk by faith and not by sight, and be a part of a family that listens and help you out through those things. And even with the finances, train you in the way that you should go with your finances. And then just looking at the time, we have a few seconds. When it comes down to the money, how are you with handling what God blesses you with? And I start with Angeline. How are you with handling what God bless you with?
I would say I'm okay with it because, like,
Now, what do you mean when you say I'm okay with it?
I'm a person who is like very cheap. I'm not gonna lie. I am very cheap when it comes to things, and mainly the only time I do spend my money is when I'm like spending it for like my siblings mainly. I don't really spend it on myself.
Well, what you call being cheap, the entrepreneurs and the billionaires and the millionaires, they don't use the word cheap. The word that they use is being wise. So don't see that as you're being cheap. Just see that as being wise and only spending when you can see that it is of great benefit.
Jayla, how are you with handling money?
I'm not good at all with handling money, cause like I'm very like when I get money for myself, I'm very expensive with it. Like,
Very expensive.
yes, I like. I like clothes. I like shoes, but my money it go to food and get my nails done. Yes, I like to eat.
Andre?
I'm bad with money. I'm not good with money at all. I like spending money
Spending it how?
on food. Spending money on food and snacks.
Food and snacks.
Okay.
What about some vegetables and things like that?
I don't buy vegetables. My mama buy vegetables.
Oh, I see. Okay. You said you don't buy vegetables, but do you eat vegetables?
I eat them when she cook them.
Okay. Okay. Talk to us, McKenna.
You know how I am.
Yes.
Well, every time I get money, I spend. It's gone the next second. And like whenever I spend stuff, and I know I owe somebody something, I always forget the amount I owe them.
Yes.
So I just
Yes.
so whatever I get, I'd be like, here, you just have this because I don't know how much I owe you. But like the things I spend it on is sometimes food, but mainly the things I like. But sometimes I know I don't need, but I know my head is like I want it, but it's not a need.
All right, Mr. Ellaby.
I'm not good with money. When I get money, I think I just have to spend it. Spend it.
On what?
Clothes, shoes, food.
Clothes, shoes, food. I've heard that 3 times so far.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not gonna say I'm not good with money. I'm trying to find a balance with money. I'm learning not to become tempted, especially at school, knowing I have money that I don't need to go to the vending machine all the time. Just because I see it doesn't mean I need it. Because I like to eat. Every time I go there, I go past the vending machine like 10 times every day at school. And I'm like, I need to get me something to drink, but I don't need it. But yeah, I'm trying to find a balance between that.
Okay, Jay.
I'm terrible with money. I like to make as much as possible and spend it quickly.
Make as much as possible
And spend
and
it.
spend it how?
Quickly.
Quickly.
Now, I'm going to ask this question because I'm interested. But the first time you get your money, what's the first thing that you do with it?
I know. Supposed to pay your
Now, suppose, what do you do with it?
I buy
And
food.
we're talking about building back better our finances.
Oh, I buy stuff that I need first, and then I save it. Like I could save money like maybe for a week. I'm still learning how to save it, but I could save money for about a week. But when I first got money, my mom make me spend it on what I want. So that's why I be broke half of the time. Cause she be making me spend it on what I want. Anything I want, she make me buy it myself. And it's
And not use her money.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because it's basically learning responsibilities. Cause she not gonna be in my life for long. Like once I get older, I'm gonna have to do everything on my own. So I'm gonna have to learn how to budget and spend my own money. But I buy stuff I want first, and then I keep the rest of my money.
Now, you know what interests me? Well, let me hear well, all of you have said the same things, basically. So all of you didn't respond to Lady Wilhelmina's last question. So, would you ask your question again?
What's the first thing you do with your money when you get it? Jay, I'll start with you.
I pay whatever needs to be paid, and then I scroll through the Nike app.
You pay what needs to be paid, and
Then I scroll through the Nike app.
He scrolled through the Nike, the shoe.
Yeah, the Nike app.
Okay. Cancer?
When I get my money, right when I get it, my dad was like, you need to go to think about your 10% from it, and when you get to church Sunday, you need to pay it. That's the first thing he says. So that
That's the
stuck in
first
my
thing
head.
he says, but what do you do?
I really don't do anything with it. I'll just leave it in my wallet. It just sit there. And he's like, oh, I forgot I have this. Right when I want something, and then I use it.
okay, my question then, to piggyback off Lady Wilhelmina's question is, do you have an understanding of the 10%?
No.
You don't?
No.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you said that you were a PK
And a BGK.
and a BGK.
Bishop grandkid.
Oh,
A bishop.
that's a new one. That's a new one, y'all. This generation just created a
BGK.
BGK,
Bishop grandkids.
Bishop grandkids, and a preacher's kid. Okay, so we have just a little bit of time left. So tell us about what you see the 10% is supposed to be.
Me?
Yes, you.
However much money you have, I guess 10%, you do the math, and then however the outcome comes out of it, you give that to the church.
Right.
I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Same as him.
Yes, I agree.
I agree.
I do too.
Mostly, yeah.
So why is it then that you don't do it?
See, what had happened was.
Oh, okay, hold it.
I see.
Okay.
See what
Come
happened.
on, tell us.
Like, I started doing it. I was doing great until the pandemic hit, and we had to do it virtually. And at that time, I had a card, but I was still spending it on food, so I couldn't put it in the church because I didn't know how to do it.
Mama could have showed you if you had asked.
And she
Okay,
was here. She was here singing.
Well, you could have texted her.
On stage?
You could have still texted her. She could have read it when she got off.
You got a point.
Okay, Angelina.
I don't really have an excuse.
Come on.
I really don't have an excuse for it, to be honest.
Yeah, you just like to eat, and
I don't spend my money that much. I only spend it like I like save my money, and then like when like something fun comes around, and I want to do it, I use it.
okay, all right, okay. Anybody else here want to add to that?
Sometimes when it's time to pay my tithes or 10%, I don't have enough money to pay my 10%, or I don't have it at all. But like if I have $1, that's probably what I have, and I just pay 10 cents.
Wow. Well, we hope that you were listening today, parents, grandparents, and other listening audience, to these Generation Z young people sharing their thoughts with us on faith, family, and finances. We hope that you'll join us next time when right here on Victorious Living, we will share more information about other things that are relative to living a victorious life.